Testing, testing. 1, 2. Testing, testing.
This Life Where I'm From video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hello world, trains in Japan are awesome. Look at this cute little one. Look at this fast one. Look at this futuristic one. But there's a lot you can miss out on if you only stick to where the trains go. So, that's why I rented a car and spent a whole day driving around, only to pass on through a building for a few seconds. Did I rip off this idea from Only in Japan? Yes I did. Thanks for the idea, John. But I can't credit him with the whole idea because the inspiration for driving actually came from watching Michaela's video.
A lot of people ask questions about how they can explore deep Japan, and really the best advice I can give you for that is to get your international license and rent a car when you get here, because I think no matter where you're staying, whether it be Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, or Kobe, or Fukuoka, just getting in your car and driving up to the mountains is always going to be a rewarding experience, especially on a beautiful day like today.
Honestly, after watching that I thought, hey, why not get in the car and go out and explore? I had always had a driver's license in Japan and a father-in-law's car I could borrow, but since trains are so convenient in Tokyo, I never really used it beyond the once every couple month trips to stock up on cheese and bacon at Costco, and yes, some good old Canadian maple syrup. And even then, sometimes I just take my bike. However, recently, I've been starting to get out of the city more, and there are lots of great things you can easily see and do if you have a car. Since I know a lot of you are watching from outside of Japan, you might want to know if you are even allowed to drive here. Sure, just get an international driving permit. You can get one in most countries, and many of them, including Japan, will recognize it. Every country that has a color in this map has a system in place. I was going to talk about renting cars, and I'll get to that, but it's kind of boring, so let's go for some driving in the countryside. Plus, it gives me the excuse to use some of my drone shots. And of course, while drones are cool, I thought it necessary to capture the experience with a GoPro as well. It just took me a bit of time to get set up. But once I finally figured it out, it was smooth sailing from there. Well, that was good while it lasted. Construction will always get you, even when there's no one there. Like no other drivers, no workers even. But seriously, in my humble opinion, driving in the countryside is the best reason to drive around Japan. Not only can you go to places tourists don't often go,
Wow.
you can also have fun figuring out whether roads are one-way or two-way. Hint, in the countryside, roads are almost always two-way, no matter how small. Luckily for me, most of my encounters didn't involve having to reverse and simply required edging over to the side of the road. But there is that one time, which I don't have footage for, that I had to reverse up a hill to let someone by. But I do have some drone footage of the area. Those were fun times indeed. As much fun as playing chicken with oncoming traffic is, I usually preferred it when this happened. But just a word of warning, when this happens, it doesn't mean you're suddenly on a one-way street.
Thank you very much, brother.
Okay, so back to some serious stuff. How to get a car. It's easy, you can rent it. Honestly, just Google car rental Japan and you'll find lots of websites where you can do so. Now this is one of those situations where it's don't do as I say, do as I do. Now let me explain. I did a search in English for rental cars in Japan and I came up with stuff. But then my wife decided like, hey, I'm going to search as well. And this is what she found. Rakuten Travel, and pretty good prices. This is actually about 2,000 yen cheaper than what I ended up getting. However, if you do the same search in Rakuten Travel, but switch it to English mode, this is the type of price you'll get. So significantly more money for the same type of cars. And I did compare. So this is like Suzuki Wagon, Honda Fit. This was like the compact class, Nissan March. They're significantly more expensive than what I actually paid for my car. So if you have the ability to go to the web in Japanese, I suggest trying that for the rental cars. And the rental car agencies, they all handle and deal with things into English, so you should be okay. But for a compact car, expect to pay around 4,000 to 6,000 yen per day. A nice thing is that you can easily get a car from airports or near major train stations. When I arrived in Okayama Airport, this sign was waiting for me. I've never had this happen before, and I know it's the name of the car company and not mine, but I asked if I could take a picture. So there you go. I then proceeded to get in the shuttle van, and this is actually a picture of a different car company, just so you know. And after a short ride, I was dropped off at the car rental place where I signed the paperwork. Basically, you do a quick visual inspection of the car, sign your life away, and then off you go. Now I'm going to use my drone footage once again to cover up some boring talk. Can you get a baby seat? Yes, for a small fee. Does it have English navigation? Yes, most places do. Automatic transmission? Yes. Winter tires? Extra. Four-wheel drive? Extra. Insurance? Basic is free, but you can pay for extra special coverage if you like. ETC card. You can rent one and you'll almost certainly want to. But what's an ETC card? That you'll find out later. Let's drive around the city a bit. The city is generally the worst type of driving you can do in Japan. It can be busy, confusing, and parking can be expensive. If you're going to be staying in cities, especially near major areas, I wouldn't recommend bringing a car. Take this as an example. I was driving to Okayama, which is not a major city in Japan. It's around 20th largest, but still nonetheless decently sized with a population of 700,000. Parking the car near the center was nearly the same price I paid for my capsule hotel. Don't tell anyone, but I paid 2,800 yen for this place. But I'll tell you all about it in another video. But yeah, parking a few streets over cost me 2,500 yen. Since I'm talking about parking, let's get into that section of the video. In Japan, most generally park by backing in. It's much faster when you're trying to make a quick getaway. Unless you're locked in like this. Yeah, while making this video, I wanted to record the little gate come down, which I successfully did after having my credit card rejected and thankfully having the 2,500 yen that it cost to park available in cash on me. Alright, I'm free. Unfortunately, I took too long packing up and that shot I showed you, yeah, it's not supposed to lock you in like that. Don't worry, 100 yen later and I was free. Once free, I went to the highway, which is why I needed the ETC card. So here we go. Well, now I got it, so try to put it in. Is it wrong? Wrong way? Take it out. That's the way. ETC card is short for Electronic Toll Collection Card. Many of Japan's highways are tolled. You technically don't need a toll card to go through. You can pay in cash, but using an ETC card lets you bypass that hassle. Also, if you're renting a car, you can get unlimited passes, so check that out if you're going to be driving lots. I'm fairly sure I could have benefited from getting one. Driving on the toll roads will almost certainly add up to more than what you might spend on gas. Anyways, here's how the toll gates work. If you have an ETC card and it's properly inserted into the machine,
ETC カードを認証しました。
go through the purple lane. If you don't, or if you're unsure, go through the green lane. The green lane is where you can pay a machine, pay an attendant, and your ETC card will also work there. So if you somehow haven't inserted your ETC card correctly,
ETC カードを確認してください。
and I'm not saying this because I've ever done this, but let's say if you didn't insert your card correctly, it's a lane where stopping is expected and you can get some help, just to be sure. And once you go through the gates, you're on the highway, which is generally pretty great in Japan. The roads are well maintained, the drivers are generally half decent, and you can cruise along happily. The speed limits vary, so look at the signs posted to see what they are, but 80 kilometers an hour seems to be a fairly common one. Since Japanese drive on the left-hand side of the road, you'd stick left when normally driving, and then move over to the right when passing. Left slow, right fast. Now, just because there are posted speed limits, it doesn't mean people always follow them. I've never had any issues going with the speed of traffic in the left lane, where I find people will normally follow the speed limit or go perhaps 10 or 20 kilometers above it. If you follow the speed of traffic in the left lane, you should be fine. And because my stats tell me that 32% of you watching are in the United States, 80 kilometers an hour is like 50 miles an hour. Now, if you're on city streets and don't see any speeds posted, especially in small streets around housing, the default speed limit is 30 kilometers an hour, which is like 20 miles an hour. I'd strongly recommend sticking to the speed limit, as it's very common to find people and bicycles traveling around in the middle of it. In the small city streets of Japan, people rule the road, not cars. But back to the highway. I like driving on it, but it's the interchanges that I'm not so fond of.
6 different roads. What in the world do you do? I don't know. Am I on the right way? I think I'm on the slower road now. 10 minutes, no, I don't know. And now I'm at toll gate, slowing down. This is, yeah. That is like insane to me. Like, you take one wrong way and it's all over for you.
Google Maps, while good, gets it right like 90% of the time.
Why am I not going towards Osaka City? I don't know. I think Google just messed me up. It told me to go right when I should have went left. Because I saw the sign for Osaka City, and I thought to myself, let's go Osaka City, but I didn't trust my instincts on this one, and now I'm screwed. And Google, I don't know if you can look at the maps. Can you look at the maps? See, it says I should go left, but obviously there's nothing left. I'm stuck.
I hear Navi time is better, so if you can read Japanese, perhaps try that. Or just the in-car navigation system. But I've also had issues with in-car navigation because of outdated maps, so I tend to use Google Maps and then get angry at it when it inevitably leads me the wrong way. And another thing, when you're in tunnels, which there are a lot of, your GPS will cut out. Besides the interchanges, highway driving is kind of uneventful, which I think is a positive when traveling at high speeds. On the other hand, when traveling at low speeds, well, maybe it's better to not be driving at all. When you get tired of driving on the toll roads, you can pull over to a PA or an SA, which are short for parking area and service area. These are pull-up points that don't officially take you off the toll road. I've never seen such a concept in North America, so this is how it works. The PAs are more like big lots with bathrooms, some vending machines, and maybe some quick-serve restaurants. Service areas, on the other hand, have all that plus full restaurants, places for your dogs to stretch their legs, gift shops. It's all in one organized complex. Just as a lot of people find out that Japanese convenience stores are a lot better than the ones back home,
Gotta get the specialty ice cream everywhere you go.
I think you'll find the same thing with these service areas. Nice bathrooms that you don't feel afraid to use, decent food, and an overall pleasant experience.
So we're gonna try some Momo ice cream, peach ice cream.
It ain't bad. Ain't bad.
Now, something that makes sense now, but really surprised me, was that when you hit up one of these areas, there can be an almost carbon copy on the other side. My wife was telling me that some go to both sides to compare the food. If we watch this just for a little bit, you can see the point in my flight where I discovered the mirroring of the service areas. What? Like, really? There's two service areas? Yeah. So this was a regular service area, but I heard stories. Okay, my wife told me that there are some destination ones as well, as in people specifically drive to a spot just for the service area. And that's how I ended up driving into this tunnel, the 4th longest underwater tunnel in the world. Popping out of the tunnel, I found myself on this artificial island called Umihotaru, which translates to Sea Firefly. From there you can see Tokyo Bay, go shopping, and check out the Kaze no To, or Tower of Wind. That's a big air intake for the whole tunnel system. This is in fact the real blade that they used to cut the tunnel that I just drove through. Ice cream shop. Unfortunately and understandably, there's a drone ban here, so no shots of this from overhead. However, I thought this shot was cool, so enjoy it for a few moments. But over here in Ehime, there was no such ban. Before driving over this beautiful bridge, I flew over it. This was taken from another rest stop, and this was also unique in that it was also a beach. I wondered why no one was swimming. It was October, but in this part of Japan, the temperature during the day got up to the mid-20s, which again I'll convert to American, so somewhere in the 70s. This little crab guy seemed happy enough. I was considering taking a quick dip. I did have my swimsuit packed just in case, but then I found this sad little guy. Yep, I didn't need any run-ins with jellyfish, so no swimming for me that day. I did lots of driving over 5 days, but only ever had to fill up twice. I filmed a bit about filling up gas, but essentially, depending on where you are, you'll get self or full serve. If you don't know what to do, there's attendants, so I'm sure they'll help you with your card and paying. Just remember that gas tank positions and levers might not be where you think they are, so keep that in mind when pulling in. But something I did think to highlight was the car wash.
Okay, so it's automatic one.
In Japan, car wash moves around you. You don't need to wash your rental cars. I want to be completely clear, I only did this to film this short segment. Parking is also something I did just for you. Because like I mentioned earlier, parking in the city can be no fun. That's why when I was in Osaka, I was surprised to find this on-street parking so easily.
Oh, come on. You got it? Okay, so 300 yen ticket for 60 minutes of street parking in Osaka. Oh, come on. Doesn't like my 100 yen. Yes, there you go, baby. Give it to me. Ah, that's what I saw with the other car. Okay, cool. Peel it, and then stick it. Okay, so, wait a sec. Like this? No, like, what? Oh, okay, I got it. See? You just peel out this, oh my God, I did it so horribly. Yes, okay, look.
Do you happen to be
there we go.
from live where I'm from?
Oh yeah, hey,
Yeah?
how's it going?
I'm Toby. I just moved to Japan and I've been seeing all the
Oh
videos
hey,
before.
nice to meet you.
Very, very nice video.
Toby, do you know a coffee shop around here?
A coffee shop.
Just for, need a quick to-go coffee, because we have to get back on the road.
I think if you go either in these small streets, you
Yeah?
can find a couple. But I just arrived here, so I don't know.
You don't know anything either. We just arrived here.
All
It's
right.
my first time in Osaka.
You make a video about Osaka?
Yeah, driving in Japan.
Oh, driving in
So we just
Japan.
drove to Osaka and now we're driving back.
Today in the same
Yeah,
day.
and so we gotta like drive back. So I'm just getting coffee to stay awake and then doing that. Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to the video.
Okay.
Is it okay if we take a picture together?
Yeah, sure, man. Cool. Yeah.
Thank you
Cool,
very
man.
much. It's very kind.
All right,
And,
man.
Good luck with your
Driving?
son.
Thank you. All right.
Driving, stay awake.
All right.
Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Cheers.
Sorry, I had to keep the footage in because it's rare for a viewer to actually recognize me and say hello. So hi Toby, sorry I was in a rush for coffee, because we really had to get coffee and go back on our 3-hour-ish trip to Okayama.
Elizabeth is no help. And then, like, hey, what do we do now? Like, seriously, where am I going? I was gonna say, this is Tokyo Drift. No, this is Osaka Drift. Feels like we're like Mario Kart right now.
It is, yeah, maybe. Oh, that'd be so perfect too if you saw one.
Oh yeah, this section was supposed to be about parking. Now this parking was really all for you. Yes, this is one of those automated car park buildings. Let's just check out what happens.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all that happens. Your car automatically gets rotated into the tower of parked cars. It's all pitch black, so my camera caught nothing. I have some more cool footage to show, so please stick around, but I want to pause the video briefly and say thank you to the sponsor, which you would think would be some Japanese rental car agency or even the toll highway system, but no, it's Skillshare. If you've been enjoying the title sequences with the fancy looking graphics, well, that's thanks to what I learned from watching Jake Bartlett's The Ultimate Guide to Kinetic Type in After Effects course. But hey, maybe you're not into motion graphics and more into starting your own business, making websites, or traveling with kids. With over 17,000 classes, there's something for everyone in the Skillshare online learning community. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes from experts working in their fields, so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Skillshare is also more affordable than most learning platforms out there. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. And the first 500 people to use my link, which is found in the description, can get 2 months of Skillshare Premium for free. Okay, so let's get to the goal of the whole trip, which I teased at the start, which is this. At this point in time, I was feeling relieved, worried, and excited all at the same time.
Okay, like, is it 600 meters, 400 meters? Is this it? This is it. Okay, dude, don't mess this up. Come on. Come on, Bobby. Okay, I'm just driving like nice and easy through the building. Yes, the light is beautiful. We did it. We're going through the freaking building. And that is it. That is the building, but let's see. Oh, look at this view. That is a pretty cool view though. Look at that tower. That is cool. Oh, yes. And look, this train yard. Oh, we're at Osaka Station over there. Wow, this is a cool path though. I gotta say. This is a cool path to take.
Yes, I visited Osaka just to do that. It was cool though, but I'll have to go back properly on another day. I want to ride that monorail. Also, thanks Bobby for helping me out so much during my time in Okayama, and for also not screwing up the shot. Bobby actually has a YouTube channel as well, which I'll put a link to in the description. Now I started off the whole video talking about how you can get to places driving that you can't get to by train, especially outside of Tokyo. But I think driving around Tokyo once can be a fascinating experience. For example, you can drive through the grounds of the Imperial Castle. You know, just casually motoring on through the Emperor's personal gardens. I quite enjoy the contrast of new and old Japan. Another thing you can do is cross over the famous Rainbow Bridge. You can see a lot while on a train, but you can also get some different vantage points and scenery when traveling in a car. Although you can also do that on a bus tour, which would actually give you a better vantage point, but I digress. So yes, trains in Japan are cool. I even made a whole video where I did nothing but travel around in them for a day. But if you have the opportunity, going out and about in a car can be equally cool. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. What's driving like where you're from?